soldier is Clifford Miller, and I want to start by saying the effect that learning about Clifford has had on me. I'll get into that maybe later, but there's 42,000 Canadian soldiers that died in World War II, and that number seemed so large to me at first, and I couldn't really pinpoint it or understand it. It was just so abstract. But getting to know Clifford, it made it seem like 42,000 Cliffords died. To me, that was so much more unbearable than 42,000 Canadian soldiers. So I want to thank Clifford for having that effect on me. I also want to tell you guys that I'll be referring to Mr. Miller as Clifford for this presentation because it seems hard to call him Mr. Miller, knowing that he went to Kelvin and was a soldier or a student just like us. I want to treat him like a friend rather than someone that seems so hard to touch. So, Clifford was born September 24th in 1911 in Fort William, Ontario, and he was the son of David and Mary Miller and the fourth of 5 children. He had twin brothers, David and Austin, and 2 sisters, Gladys and Alice. He and his family moved to Winnipeg when he was quite young, and he attended both Lord Roberts School and Kelvin, although he only graduated from grade 10 at Kelvin, and he was there for 2 years. So he wasn't much involved at Kelvin. I couldn't find a picture of him, but he did enjoy swimming, skiing, skating, and even playing third base in baseball. His talents even spread over to music, where he was a drummer. He was 5'9", had blue eyes, and medium brown hair with medium complexion. Just basically your average guy. He married Miss Mabel Ethel Miller on February 28, 1933, at the age of 22, and they had 1 daughter together, Miss Joan Alice Miller, who was born September 14th of that year. They lived at 963 Winnipeg Avenue in a beautiful, humble home which I had the pleasure of photographing. Clifford was a hard-working young man, and he made his living as a brakeman for the Canadian National Railway. So when the war began in 1939, Clifford was already quite old. He was 28, and his daughter Joan was only 6. Something I learned from contacting Clifford's family and his grandson Greg, who's actually named after Clifford, his middle name is Clifford, was that there was no obligation for Cliff to enroll. He did so even though he was a lot older than most of the men that you see here, because he really wanted to make a difference in the war and fight and ensure a better world for his daughter Joan, whom he loved very much and wrote numerous letters back home to. So he enlisted on March 14th of 1941 at the age of 29 and joined the Fort Garry Horse on April 1st, 1941 in Ontario after basic training in Winnipeg. So he was assigned to Squadron A of that regiment and began training as a member of a tank regiment with very limited equipment available at the time. Tanks were not highly effective, as I've learned. So on November 1st, 1941, the regiment moved to Nova Scotia in preparation of being shipped to England, and he traveled to England with the regiment by November 23rd of that same year. So from that day until March of 1944, Clifford traveled around England for training and eventually ended up in a place called Milford-on-Sea in Hampshire. And it was there that Clifford, who now had the rank of acting lance corporal, was transferred from Fort Garry Horse to the 1st Canadian Ordnance Reinforcement Unit because of the technical skills that he had when he was working for the CNR. So as the war was becoming more and more trying for the Allies, Clifford was sent to assist with the Queen's Cameron Highlanders, so as a reinforcement to help with the Battle of the Scheldt, to clear the port of Antwerp so it could be opened for Allied supplies throughout to Europe. And although the battle started on October 1st of 1944, unfortunately Clifford died only 4 days after the battle began on October 5th, 1944. And for his service in the Canadian Forces, he was awarded the 1939-45 Star, the France-Germany Star, the Defense Medal, the War Medal, and the 1939-45 Canadian Volunteer Service Medal. So I wrote an end to my presentation, but that was before I had received all the letters and pictures that Greg, Clifford's grandson, was so kind to give to me. And I have this picture here of Clifford, which I'd like to share. It was originally the only picture I had in black and white. And although he never really got to see his daughter Joan grow up, he was very proud of her achievements in music. And Joan died about 10 years ago. Ripe old age of 92, I believe, so she lived a long life, which I'm sure Clifford would be happy to know. And in her obituary it said that she was a loving woman who had a beautiful smile and just a really nice person. And I think I know where she got that smile. And I know that Clifford would be very pleased to know that his family did so well. And to end, I would like to read a poem that Clifford wrote that he sent home when he was over here fighting. I think it's quite beautiful. There's two here, but I'm just going to read one because I think it will really touch all of us. I'm dreaming tonight of a land clear and bright, where the snow that falls is a pure crystal white, where the stars that shine from the heavens above entwine in their shadows all things that I love. My home, my family, my all.